Rev up your engines! I've got big news for everyone. Our channel just hit 2 billion views. And I'd like to thank everyone for the years of support. Not only did we just hit 2 billion views, but we're the most watched car channel in America. And we're the 3rd most watched car channel in the world. Car Wow and Top Gear are 1 and 2. But then again, they're in England, and the English are nuts about cars, so that's another world. Plus, it's just me making videos. Those guys are corporations with scores of people writing, editing, filming. So if you really think about it, I'm the most watched individual car guy in the world on YouTube. So why is this the case? Well, maybe it's because I'm good looking. Well, I was 40 years ago, but today you can throw that out. It's because of 2 things. My brain still works, and I'm honest. I do not take paid advertising in my videos. People try to pay me, but I don't do that kind of stuff. I just do honest reviews of anything car related. And it's not just the views. This month, we hit our 15th year anniversary of being on YouTube. Now, some people ask me, Scotty, why the hell are you still doing this, working on cars? Well, there's 2 reasons. I like working with my hands, and I love helping people out with their problems. And you know why I started working on cars? I didn't trust anybody. There's lots of crooked mechanics out there. I learned to fix them because I couldn't afford to pay people to fix my own cars. And even if you don't work on your own car, a little knowledge goes a long way. One of the biggest things about vehicles is buying the correct one that doesn't break down much. Give them all the choices and tell them this is good, this is bad, this is horrible. That's as important as actually maintaining them. You buy a crappy vehicle, it doesn't matter how you maintain it, it's going to fall apart over time. Buying a Toyota Tacoma pickup, probably one of the smartest moves you can make. Buying a used Ford Focus, maybe not such a smart idea in America. Maybe that's one reason they don't sell them over here anymore. And after doing this for 15 years, have I changed? Well, other than putting on more weight, no. I still got my Toyota Celica and the wife's Lexus. And no, I don't own this Jetta. It's a customer's car I'm working on. You know what else hasn't changed? I'm still answering people's questions on my live car talks and every day on the internet. I like helping people out. Everyone hates getting ripped off, right? You get ripped off, you complain, what good is it gonna do? But if you complain to me, and I tell the world, millions of people are going to see the same problem. They might avoid it. And sometimes the companies will even fix your car for free. Now people are asking, how can you ask me questions? Well, you can go to my website, ScottyKilmer.com, and ask questions there. Or you can watch me on Thursdays at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and Saturdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube Live, where you type in the questions and I answer them live with the same camera you're watching me with now. So if you meet me on the street, feel free to take a selfie. I love it. My wife hates it, but what can you do? And don't be shy. The other day, my wife said she saw somebody and they looked shy, so she went over and said, hey, you want to take a picture with my husband? Come on over. He doesn't care. And I don't care if you've got easy questions, hard questions. As the saying goes, there are no stupid questions. There's just stupid answers. And I generally refrain from giving any stupid answers. I put a lot of thought into them. If you've got problems with your actual car, hey, you can visit me when I'm in Tennessee or when I'm in Rhode Island. I can check it out for you with all my expensive equipment. And I know there's a lot of people out there that don't know that much about their vehicles. But you don't need to. You just need to know about me, and I'll help you out. Now, I put out 2 videos a day, and I make them to help people out. Some are actual fixes showing how you can fix something most economically, and some are pure car advice. Should you get a 4-wheel drive? Should you get a 2-wheel drive? Should you get bigger tires, smaller tires? I'll give you true advice on that so you can make a wise decision. I'm not going to look down on you like many mechanics and speak down like, oh, you don't know anything about cars. No, whatever level you're at, I'll explain things so you can understand and make a wise choice instead of just a wild guess. Maybe you got squeaky brakes and you want to know how to fix it. Or maybe you got an oil burning engine and want to decide, should I fix it? Should I sell it? Or should I just live with a minor problem? And of course, as technology changes, I'll update you. I may be an old dog, but I can learn new tricks. For example, this is a Rural King battery. He's now selling a new type of battery that's better than regular flooded, but costs less than absorbed glass mat AGM batteries. And you might think about buying one of those. You can ask me and I'll tell you if it's right for your vehicle. Now, I may be 68 years old, but I don't plan on slowing down anytime soon. My grandfather retired at 85, but only because my father shut the gas station down. He'd probably still be working there if my father wouldn't have shut that station down. So, thanks for the 2 billion views, and here's to the next 2 billion. And here's some bonus questions and answers. Jim from Ohio says, what are your thoughts on the future, 6 to 8 years from now, of used EV? What the market will look like? Here's the problem with used EVs. Electric vehicles, unlike like a Prius that's a hybrid, that's battery, electric, and a gasoline motors, electric vehicles are pure electric vehicles. They have rather large batteries. The batteries in electrical vehicles go anywhere from $6,000 to $25,000 just for the battery. A new one. Now they have rebuilt ones, but generally they only come with like a year guarantee or 2 years, and they don't guarantee 100% power. So the problem with the used electric vehicle is those batteries cost a fortune. When they do start breaking, and they will, batteries break. Here's my little camera battery. All right, I just threw one away that's 2 years old. I was filming the other day. I'm like, it said it was full. 5 minutes later, it had red warning, running out of power. I picked it up. I threw it in a garbage can. The viewer, he was watching. He brought his car over. And I just said, there goes another one. I said, okay, so that's a $40 battery. So what if that was an electric car and it was $14,000? I don't think I'll be throwing a garbage can that readily. Oh, there goes 14 grand. That is the problem with electric vehicles. No one knows how long each one's going to last in which situation. People are going to buy electric vehicles used. You got to go to a pro who works on them all the time. They have special machines that you can plug in, and within an hour they can tell you what percentage life is left of the battery, and that's where you'd start right off the bat. And so it's going to be a deal where the used market, originally it plummeted. It was nothing. When I lived in Houston, my neighbor bought a Model S Tesla, right? Okay, the original owner paid $126 grand. He bought it used for $44,500, and it only had 15,000 miles. That's how the resale value was originally. Now with coronavirus and people not building cars, the resale value went up too high. But eventually, mark my words, it'll come crashing down, especially for used vehicles. I've had customers that pass by used Nissan Leafs for $4,000. Price a new one. Yeah, big difference, right? It's going to be an interesting thing, but it'll eventually come down to earth because people will realize, hey, those batteries cost a fortune. Who knows how to work on these things? A lot of people don't work on them. A lot of guys won't touch them. It'll become a little bit different than it is today with this fake blown values. Wood Arcade says, I got 2010 Chevy Camaro. I can't get a U-joint for my vehicle. It's a 2010 RS. I can't find a U-joint and drive shaft coupler. I asked the dealer, he said, we don't sell those. You have to buy the whole drive shaft assembly. It costs a fortune. What can I do? Here's the problem. All the companies that have rear-wheel drive shafts, almost every single one of them, have gone to a system where you got to buy the whole drive shaft because the joints are built in a factory with special machines that you can't humanly take them apart and put them back together yourself. Now, it's been happening for quite some time. When I was in Houston, a friend of mine ran a shop that rebuilt drive shafts. Well, now that shop is a tapas restaurant. I'm yuppified, right? He doesn't exist anymore. You can't really find any drive shaft repair shops anymore. There's hardly, if you can find one, take it to them, see if they can fix it. But you can't. They have a special machine to change the joints. Then they have to rebalance them on their balancing machine. It's very complex stuff. They're deliberately making them like that. So you got to spend a fortune to fix them. But here's the real kicker. The real kicker is it's going to be almost impossible to find a guy that can fix it because hardly any cars these days have drive shafts like yours. It's just a classic rear-wheel drive, engine, transmission, shaft, and then drive on the rear. Almost all cars are front wheel or four wheel drive. They don't use that system anymore. And so how's a company going to fix those things for a living when there's hardly any of them left? That's one of the reasons my friend sold his business. They turned it into a tapas restaurant because he had no business anymore. Nobody was driving those things anymore. So that's where you're stuck. That's you get a sports car like that, expect to spend money up the wazoo because they have weird designs that you pay through the nose when it's time to fix them. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.